Hello, welcome to the channel. It's Wine Wednesday and this is non-alcoholic wine. All right, I don't want to hear no judging. This is the Hand on Heart rosé. I'm really big on the non-alcoholic options these days. I think this is a must-have to mix in. Not the rosé specifically, it's not my favorite flavor, but anyway. Welcome to the channel, or welcome to the channel. Welcome back or welcome to the channel. My name is Erica Mance and I do all types of content here, and I just want to say cheers to you. It's just tart. I'm not big on tart. Today's video is something I'm gonna do monthly, so get excited for that because I'm gonna kind of piggyback off someone else. So basically, if you follow PewDiePie like I do, you would know that he has a little book club going on, and every month he recommends a book. And I was like, this is great, because I did not, unfortunately, complete my goal of finishing 24 books by 2025. So this year I really want to discipline myself. I felt like that was just like a really great opportunity. On top of his own book club that he's doing with his subscribers, such as myself, I was like, I also will pick another book for me to read, because after PewDiePie's choices, I was like, boy, I can't. I'm like, these are such I'm not going to criticize, but I was just like, damn, like I need to make sure I'm reading stuff that I want to read as well. I figured I should do my own book club thing for my subbies if y'all like books. So I'll basically review what I read so far, because I finished PewDiePie's book and my book. My goal is to read one book every 2 weeks or so that's pretty exciting. I'll go ahead and show you what PewDiePie's book is and then what my next book recommendation. Yeah, so my first book of January 2025 is The Creative Act, A Way of Being. Now, it's so weird how once I got this book, I started seeing it all over Instagram, but I really am happy I started off the year with this. This is something that I really needed desperately because the world's on fire. I'm a YouTuber, but I'm also just like a creator in general. I'm an artist. I do a lot of video making, but I also really enjoy photography. I love painting. I love reading. The only music art form I feel like I'm not really great at is music, but I'm trying to. Music and dance, I guess. It's kind of hard. I feel that how should I say this? My spirits are a little low, you know, and it really does not only affect how I create, but it just affects everyday life. So I feel that the lessons from these books go hand in hand with just like other experience, like just a general outlook on the way of life. But yeah, it's just, I would say it's kind of like a self-help book. By the way, it's The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. It's really nice. It just basically, I would say it's like a self-help book, basically focusing on a lot of, like I said, creativity and how anyone can create. There is no demographic, all right? Anyone can create, and everyone is allowed to be open and to allow inspiration to come in. It also focuses on just being very present, and that's something that it's interesting for me in regards to like being present, right? Because I put so much of my life online, so a lot of the things I do are either planned or not fully experienced because I'm like recording or something. But there are a lot of times where I'm very strict about what I like to record, and just the whole living in the present, like being in the present, embracing the present, acknowledging that you are here right now is so hard for me to do sometimes. So it was a nice little gentle reminder, you know, just like be mindful of all of that. If you watched my video yesterday about friendship, I spoke about being vulnerable, right? This book is also focusing on that, like embracing vulnerability, embracing the things that don't really go as planned. We have to accept that there's uncertainty in this life. Not everything's gonna go how we planned, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but how are you gonna work with that? You know what I mean? It didn't go your way, so what now? Basically, trying to make you think like, trust the process, like this happened for a reason, and you know, I don't know, I guess it's trying to I'm like really struggling these days to talk, but it's just like trusting the process. That's basically what it is, especially when it comes to creativity. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this book is how it kind of emphasizes and encourages one to basically try to enact something that is hard to do nowadays, which is being playful. I feel that, and if you saw yesterday's video, I feel hardened by life, and I sometimes feel that I'm so hardened that the little kid inside me can never really be free. You know, I definitely want to invoke that spirit again and think these childlike thoughts to help my creative process, or just critical thinking in general, like to think outside of the box to solve problems and to be curious about different ways of doing things. And these things are not easy to really do anymore. I feel that I got really good at something in the last couple of months, and it's being disciplined with my work. It's good to be disciplined. It's good to push yourself. Like yesterday's video, I really pushed myself to post that, even though I didn't want to. I'm kind of pushing myself today because I have to be disciplined. I have to discipline myself sometimes. But also, even with that like disciplinary like action, you also kind of want to keep enough space open that you could be spontaneous. So that's spontaneous is what I'm trying to bring back into my life, because I'm so rigid, I'm so routine, I'm so everything, that I just want to start doing things different every once in a while to be spontaneous basically. But yeah, it's just it was a pretty good book, you know. There's also little ways to get over like creative blocks that they have, the collaboration of like the power of collaboration, which I'm not good at, and I would like to start working on that more. Also feedback, I'm not big on feedback either, and it's hard. I think the main message mostly is the creative journey. It's a lifelong journey, you know. Life is changing, circumstances are always changing, your viewpoints are changing, your art changes, everything always changes. This is a pretty good book. Definitely recommend. It's only like 403 pages, which is honestly not that bad. And let me take a sip of water before I review PewDiePie's book. Okay, this is Tao Te Ching. Now, I'm gonna say, when I googled this, there was so many different type of options. I hope that this one is the correct one, because the one PewDiePie was holding up in his video, I could not find that cover. This book is way shorter, all right, and it's mostly like little poems. It doesn't have a page count, but I would say like 100 pages, maybe even less. It actually goes in hand with the creative act, a way of being, in a sense of an indescribable way in which we live, and kind of, I don't want to say plagues, but is within our existence. It's just basically trying to live within harmony. I believe this is like Taoism, which I'm also trying to get more spiritual, so this kind of helps me. Yeah, which is kind of hard to like, I don't know. Because then you end up thinking about it like way too much. And I just, hold on, let me try to set this up. You know how I was saying that I was like too rigid, too like in routine, and the creative act was a great way of like pointing that out. Like, it's okay to be disciplined, but leave room for that spontaneous. This book also kind of like focuses on that, going with the natural flow instead of forcing specific outcomes or forcing something, you know. It's not about forcing, it's about just being. And basically how not doing anything is doing something, because it's going to lead to the most effective result, like the most peaceful result. Also focuses on simplicity and minimalism. If you've known me for a long time, you know, in the past maybe like 8 years, I kind of really cut back on just like consumption and like materialism and all of that stuff, and I'm very specific about what I want to own And I feel like I was like borderline hoarding when I was younger, so it took a long time to get here. So it's always nice to be reminded of that simplicity, that like minimalism, how like a simple life just leads to a little bit more freedom, like within the soul, I guess. Kind of references like yin and yang a little bit, like opposites attract type of thing. Basically that there's like a balance of like good and bad, and that it's necessary for that to be that way. That's why yin and yang is like black and white. Like there is no white without black, vice versa. And again, accepting that leads to happiness, essentially. Again, life has hardened me, right? It's not the way to be. This book is basically confirming that as well. Basically that strength is great, but also it's important. Like what contributes to your strength is being flexible rather than being rigid or hardened. So that's something that I personally kind of took to heart, and that I would have to be like soft more, which I struggle with a lot. You know, there's a lot of things that go hand in hand with these two books, which I really liked. This I feel is like more on a personal level, like a spiritual level, whereas this is more for you are an artist, and even if you don't consider yourself one, it doesn't mean that you can't read it, because I think this could apply to like regular life as well, but it might also inspire you to be an artist. Again, this book is saying that there is no specific demographic of who's an artist and who's not an artist. Anyone can be an artist. It does not matter. Yeah. I really liked this combo for my first books of January, and I did complete it. This one I completed in like dragging it out like 5 days. This I completed in about 2 weeks, reading slowly. And it's not a rough, I think PewDiePie started with something a little bit more simpler, where I kind of jumped in a little bit. I was like, I'm just gonna read something bigger. Like, this book is so little. But yeah, I recommend both 100%. I think they're both really nice. This book is very easy to get through, so if you haven't read in a long time, this is great. This is just great for overall stuff. If you're also going through like a spiritual journey, this is really nice to read, especially during a time right now where it's not feeling so good. And then the other one, if you're having, you know, stress with your art and stuff, this would be a nice little book to kind of get you out of that funk. Now, PewDiePie's next book, I could not find PewDiePie's next recommendation anywhere. Like, anywhere. Hold on, where is it? I actually gave up, because on a lot of websites like thrift books, it's on back order, it's not available at my local library. So I had to basically get it on Audible, and it's 18 hours long and 41 minutes. I've never done a book through Audible, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but we'll see how that is. And the book that PewDiePie recommended, it's called In the Buddha's Words, an anthology of discourses from the Pali Canon. It should be good. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about, I just never done this. This is my first time doing an Audible, so whatever. Oh no, it's covered. I was like, you might know that I'm Puerto Rican, and I think for like the past, I would say like 11 years, because it was like kind of when I got out of high school, I really regretted not learning more about La Isla, and feeling very guilt and shameful and embarrassed that I became super Americanized, and that I fear speaking Spanish because I'm not good at it, and it's like identity crisis. But I'm very book smart when it comes to Puerto Rico, because I just play more with my strengths than I do my weaknesses. So I was like, this month I need to I have to focus on my weaknesses as well, and that's a different story. But the book I'm reading during this time in the political climate that we're in is War Against All Puerto Ricans, Revolution and Terror in America's Colony. So that's the book I'm preferring to read. If you want to read, you're completely welcome to do that. But yeah, I hope you join either my book club or PewDiePie's book club. You don't have to buy these books. Go to your local library. Like, I kid you not, your library is so resourceful, and you save so much money and so much space. You don't have to get like a million books, and You could start, and then even if you don't want to join any of our book clubs, put a comment of a book that you're reading or that you would like to read down below, and maybe I'll check it out and share it with everybody else. Or not, just do it on your own private time. I don't know, whatever it is. But yeah, that's basically the video for today. It's me being a big old bookworm. Can't wait to talk about the next book. Cheers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, or else I won't cheers you anymore. Cheers.